homemade McGriddles. So what you're gonna need is, of course, the meat of your choice. I'm choosing bacon and sausage. This is gonna be like a deluxe McGriddle. You're gonna need some eggs, some ground cinnamon, some good maple syrup. Make sure it's grade A, dark, robust flavor. You're gonna need some pancake mix, either an egg cooker or one of these mini griddles. And if you want cheese, make sure that you get the cheese of your choice. I'm choosing American. You just can't see it because it's currently still in the refrigerator. But let's go ahead and get started. Okay, so the first thing that we have to do is create our syrup balls, because if you had a McGriddle before, you know that there's like little chunks of syrup inside of the McGriddle patty. So what we got to do is create those little chunks. So you want to take your maple syrup, just like I said, use a good one. Don't use the ones like Ain't Your Mama or Mrs. Butterworth. Use something good. You got to spend some money. What we're going to do is pour that into our skillet. We have our skillet going on medium-high heat, and you're just going to pour as much as you need. I don't need that much, but I'm going to make some for leftovers so that you can make a McGriddle throughout the week. So you're just going to pour that into the skillet. We need our syrup to reach 165 temperature. So we're going to let this boil, and we're going to just keep adjusting the heat so it doesn't boil over. So what we're looking for is for the temperature to come to 165. At 165, that's when we're going to go ahead and remove it from the heat. So we're just checking on the temperature, just making sure that it hasn't reached it just yet. And it looks like it's almost there. So we have our syrup. What we're gonna do is pour it on a piece of parchment paper, like so. And we have to let it cool so that it thickens. So we're just gonna spread it around after I get it all out. Like this. It smells so good. I love the smell of syrup. Don't know why. A lot of people hate that smell, especially like when you go and eat some pancakes and you still have the resemblance like on your fingers or something like that. Like, a lot of people hate it, but I love it. So what we're gonna do is go ahead and spread it out into an even layer. It kind of looks like caramel, but it's not. I'm just making sure it's spreading. And it takes patience, of course. It doesn't have to be pretty because you're going to see what we're going to do to it once it hardens. But you just want to get it as nice as possible so that's all even. Not too thick of a layer because you want it to cool pretty fast. So that's why I'm steady thinning it out. But it is cooling pretty fast because it's getting thicker and thicker. And that's what you want. Alright, so we're going to set this to the side and we're going to allow it to cool. And then we're going to start working on our meat so that we can cook that. And by the time we get done with our meat, this should be cool. So let's go ahead and head back over to the stove. Okay, let's get started on our meat. As I stated before, use the meat of your choice. You can use ham, you can use turkey, you can use bacon, sausage, whatever. I choose to use sausage and bacon, which is the most common type of McGriddle you can get. But I'm combining the two because we're going to make like a deluxe McGriddle. So I'm going to go ahead and just cook my meat together. I have some thick cut bacon. I only need 2 slices for 1 sandwich. Throw that in the pot. And then I have my sausage patty. Just gonna throw that in the pot as well. And we're gonna go ahead and allow this to fully cook. And while we're waiting on that, we are going to clean up our kitchen. Okay, so now that our syrup has cooled, we're going to go ahead and just peel it off of the parchment paper. It's just that simple. You don't have to pull it all at once, but I do have a couple of it. And what we're going to do is, it's a little sticky, you guys don't worry, but we're going to create the balls, the syrup balls. I see a lot of people that tries to recreate the McGriddles, and it just pours syrup on top of the pancakes, and that's not how McDonald's does it. So yeah, I'm just going to keep pinching off a little bit of it, and I'm just going to roll it up in my hand. So I'll show you what I mean by this. So I pinched off a little bit. I'm rolling up the syrup into a small little ball. Let's see if it's going to focus. Yep, a small little ball. So I'm just going to continue doing this, and I'm just setting them to the side, and I'll be back once I have all of my syrup rolled into a balls. Alright, so I went ahead and rolled up the amount that I needed for now, because I'm going to make my McGriddle, obviously. So now we're going to go ahead and start making our pancake, which is the bread to the McGriddle, if you didn't know. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and get started on our pancake mix. So I have just some regular pancake mix. Choose your favorite one. I'm going to place some of it in my bowl. Just enough that will give me about 2 patties of pancakes. That should be good enough. I'm going to take some water and just pour that in there, because you want to get the consistency. If you know how to make pancakes, you don't measure anything. You just go. And that's what I do. I just go. So you just want to make sure you get the right consistency. Obviously, that is too thick. Just pour some more water in there. And just keep going. Pancake batter is a lot thinner than waffle batter. Just FYI. And I am just stirring so I can get all of the lumps out, majority of them. And we'll be good to go. We're going to add some cinnamon in here once we get it all mixed up. You don't want to over mix your batter, but you want to make sure that for the most part all of the lumps are out. So this looks pretty good. I'm sure I don't have to teach y'all how to make pancake batter. It's pretty easy. Just follow the instructions on the back of the box if you don't know how. Or if you're making homemade pancake batter, do that too. So that's good enough. So what I'm going to do now is take some of my cinnamon. Use the brand that you want. And I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit in there. It gives the pancake batter a nice little pizzazz. So you're not just tasting syrup, but you also are tasting some cinnamon. And every now and then I do add vanilla extract, but not today. I think that it's good the way it is. I'm going to add a little bit more cinnamon. That should do it. So let's go ahead and mix that up. And we're good to go. So we're going to go ahead and cook our pancake. Okay, so at this point, if you don't have one of these mini griddles, you want to cook your pancakes on the stove using maybe an egg ring or the top of a mason jar lid, something like that. And you just cook your pancakes the same way I'm cooking them. So I'm going to go ahead and just spray my griddle with some cooking spray, which is butter. And we're going to go ahead and add in our pancake batter. Just going to pour that in there and make sure I have enough. All right, I'm doing a thin layer first because what I'm going to do is add in those morsels of syrup. So I have them right here, and I'm just going to pick some off and place them strategically in the pancake batter. Then what I'm going to do is take a little bit more batter and just try to cover up them so that they're not burning from the top of the griddle. Just covering it up as best as possible. There we go. So I'm now going to close my griddle and allow it to cook. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. Oh, that's beautiful. So we're going to go ahead and remove that. And then we're going to work on our second one. And then guess what? We're going to cook our egg and then we're done. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and just make our folded egg. I'm going to turn my heat on to medium. I'm going to go ahead and spray my pan with a little bit of butter. And then we're going to start with 1 egg. You want to make sure that you crack it, and then we're just going to go ahead and just mix it up. You're going to go ahead and pour your egg in the pan. You're going to allow it to spread out and cook. So as you can see, it's getting white around the edges. We're not going to scramble it or anything. We want it to cook on a flat surface, and then we're just going to fold it over. So just go ahead and watch what I'm doing. You want to spread it out just a little bit, making it even and thin. There we go. You want it to kind of look like a square. It's not going to be a perfect square, but you do want it to look like a square. So once it's like 75% cooked, there we go. Ooh, that's good. So like I said, once it's like 75% cooked, we're going to fold it over. So it should look like this because it's pretty much cooked. And we're just going to switch over to a spatula. Fold over the edges like that, and you want it to look like a little square. Folded egg for your sandwich. So now we're going to cut off our heat and we're going to go ahead and start assembling our sandwich. Alright, so I have laid 1 pancake down. It's good to go. We're going to go ahead and throw on our sausage patty. We're going to throw on our egg. Stick with me now. We're going to take our bacon and just go ahead and split that in half so it can fit correctly on your sandwich. Those 2 pieces. There we go. And then I like to add my cheese on top of that, allowing it to melt with the bacon so that the bacon stays on the sandwich. So we're going to leave that like so. And then we're just going to add the top of our sandwich. So I'll give you an aerial view. Give me 1 second. And there you guys have it. We have our sausage, bacon, egg, and cheese McGriddle. It is so good. Please try out this recipe. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe. Bon appetit.